Now, wheels and tires. These obviously need to be glued, but that's not all there is to it, because the foams on these, the foam inserts, are not round, they are rectangular. So you actually need to stuff those in there, get them right. And I don't know what all is going on here. We've got two sets here. Oh, okay, it's an inner and an outer. So the outers go in first and then the inners. I'm actually going to go ahead and get these all cleaned up. They do feel pretty good, but there may be still some mold release compound on there, so I will give them a thorough cleaning and then start stuffing these foams in to their permanent location and glue them. Okay, tires and foam inserts. Here's the deal. It was a little bit of a pain with these, with the double layer foam. So let me show you the process after some experimentation. Here's what I came up with to make it as easy as possible. First off, the outer foam, the main one, the larger one, contact cement, all good. Put it on there in advance and just line it up. Let the cement dry up fully, and then just do the contact thing, push them together, and there you go. You now have one solid ring. So that's pretty normal right there. And then just stuff this whole thing in. When doing these, I like to put the joint that I just put in first. So I fold it away from that and then stuff that in there first, so it goes down first. And then just massage the whole thing in. And as you massage it in, the foam actually needs to be really stuffed in there a little bit. The diameter of this ring is a little bit larger than the tire. So as I go around, you can see here I'm pulling it down a little bit, actually compressing it in the direction of the circumference. So I'm applying a tangential force here a little bit to try to compress it down to make it end up being a smaller ring of foam as I go around. But you still want it to be pretty even, so as it goes you may get little bunches and you just try to smooth those out, and eventually this will all go together. There we go. So I've returned to my original spot, and then I'm just going to go ahead and massage this even more just to make sure that the foam is as happy as it can be reasonably. So I'm actually pulling it out, pushing it back in just a little bit, trying to get it to have even density all the way around. These aren't the greatest tires, so this isn't super critical here, but you know, the better your tires are balanced, the better your performance will be on the whole. There are a lot of things you can do to make tires and wheels imbalanced. So I'm trying to start from a good point here, making sure that the foam gets also tucked under the beads, so tucked behind them a little bit. So that works out okay. There's a little bit of a bunch right there, and just smooth that out. There we go. So that works out great. Very normal there. But then you have this inner foam also, and I had all manner of trouble and pain with these, and I was not able to get these to work out with the stock length. I ended up taking off 25 millimeters of length from each one. So there you see the 4. I've done the other 3 already. 25 millimeters of length. Then I used by the way, here's the contact cement that I'm using. It's a Loctite latex formula. Found this stuff to be a lot more consistent and easy to use with open cell foam than the regular, like the Elmer's stuff that comes in the jar with the brush in the top and stuff. This one, I went ahead and did the ends normal way. Then I also put in, I had all of these laid out, and I put just these horizontal lines across of more contact cement in 4 spots along the way to help get this thing to settle down onto the wheel. I'm actually going to apply this to the wheel, but I'll show you that in just a second. First off, I've let all of these dry. I actually used a heat gun on a very low setting to help speed up the drying process. You do not want to push these together and pull them apart, because that will start to break the bonds and ruin them. You want to put it together just one time, put enough pressure together, and that should be it. Contact should be there. See just a little bit of a seam, but it is holding, and it does have a good bond. And then on the wheels, I again took the contact cement and just did 2 lines around the circumference towards the outer edges, all the way around the entire wheel. And so by having these longitudinal and having these kind of be lateral, any spot where one of these touches down, it's going to tack on just a little bit. That's just to give it a little bit more traction and to help keep this inner foam from moving around, especially when I put the tire on, because that's even trickier. So I've got this on now. Again, I'm going to put down the joint spot first, just because I don't want to risk tearing that apart at all. I'm going to put that down, and then let's see if I can get it to stick down in there. I'm putting this foam onto the wheel, and I'm going to get my first tacking point back here. I'm going to get that to settle down right there. It's not going to be really hard. It's not going to be a real firm connection, but it's enough to keep it from sliding. And then just lift this around, try to stretch it out, stretch it all the way around, and get it to make contact down. There we go. And then massage this in. I want this to be in between those beads all the way around. I don't want any of it sticking out. As I go around again, trying to make sure that it's pretty even, and it's looking pretty good so far. Now this, you can pull this up still, it's only tacked in 4 places around the circumference, but this will help dramatically when it comes to this final step. And for the final step, I'm going to make sure that I'm putting the tire on the correct direction. We've got 2 left tires here, so this is going to be a right tire, and it's going to go on the same way as this, like so. Okay. Now here's how this is going to go. This side is less flexible than this side. I'm going to put the hard side in first, the outside, and the trick here is trying to get that as far in. I'm going to go about halfway through for starters, and again I'm going to find the joint. So here's the joint here, and there's the joint there. I'm going to put them at opposite sides just because there's a tiny bit more weight here because of that extra glue. So I'm going to the opposite side. I'm going about half to 2/3 of the way in. I'm going to hold that and then go around the circumference, stretching the heck out of this tire, stretching it around. I'm lifting it up, lifting it out, and stretching it because I don't want to move this foam. I don't want to get this whole foam bunched in over to the opposite side. So I'm lifting the tire, stretching it out, and then moving it across without shifting the foam. I'm trying to shift the foam as little as possible. It's still going to, when you let go, see it's pulling back a little bit. That's why I put the contact cement on the inside of that inner foam, and also a little bit on the wheel to help keep it from just moving. So I've got this finger under here that's just continually pulling this back, and I'm just working it around, and I can feel with the back side of this finger over here that the inner foam is still in place. And then finally when I take that out, now we're almost there. So I've safely gotten this on, and now I'm just going to massage the outsides around, get that bead to sit in there on the wheel, make sure it's not folded up at all. The bead of the wheel is actually wider than the bead of the tire, so that'll take a little bit more finagling to get that right. And then let's see, make sure this is good, and then like I said, just massaging that. There's lots and lots of it, trying to get this thing to settle in, trying to get the shoulder shape to be the same all the way around, and putting a little bit more pressure in the middle, trying to get it to flatten out a little bit, giving it a little bit of side to side movement, just trying to get those foams to relax inside. And eventually you'll get it. Yeah, this is already better. I'm still going to do a little bit more off camera, but this is definitely better. You can see this bead here is lining up pretty well all the way around the tire to the wheel, and I just need to expand it a little bit more around the outside so the tire will actually widen up and the beads will match up a little bit better. And there we go, much better there. Still got a pretty good alignment around the back, and it's pretty flush around the front now also on all of these tires. These tires do have a mold streak just going down the middle that will definitely need to be worn off, but that'll happen actually on the car. So now I can actually glue all of these up and that'll just be the norm. All right, there we go. Tires all mounted up, all nice. Things are looking pretty good here. And then the final thing is just to get the body situated, body itself, with the wing mount, or the wing mounted. The only thing is I did not trim the body before I painted it. Oh no, what do I do? That is what I do. There we go. Time for the pretty studio shots. This guy is ready to hand back to Jonathan for some driving and testing.